AMN DriveTime is sponsored by Aishin, your trusted and reliable source for aftermarket automotive components and technology. Visit AishinAftermarket.com for more information.
Tom, welcome to AMN Drive Time, sponsored by our good friends at Aishin.
Bill, great to meet you. Happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. As you and I know, we are in Greater Detroit right now at Vision 2026, and we're glad that you could make the time to spend a little time with us.
I'm happy to be here and look forward to talking to you.
So, Tom, I think for the benefit of our audience, if you could walk us through your professional career and how you came to NTN 35 plus years ago.
Originally, I graduated from the University of Illinois with a degree in mechanical engineering. And at the time, I had a chance to go work for Underwriter Laboratories, kind of as a lab assignment or as an application engineer. And what really attracted me is NTN was a global company, and it gave me an opportunity to really visit customers, and I wanted to get out of the Chicago area and be able to kind of expand from there. So really the first 5 years of my career was heavily involved in the Detroit market. I invested a lot of time and energy into the tier 1s and tier 2s, and in fact I had a lot of opportunity to work on the wheel end side of the business. So NTN was still rather new to North America, and it gave me an opportunity to really work within the automotive segment. Shortly after that, I got moved over to the industrial side, again still in our engineering department, and it brought me to the point of 1996. And in 1996, NTN had acquired BCA from Federal Mogul, and that was the first time that we had acquired that division from Federal Mogul. Back in the late 1980s, we acquired Bauer, which was another acquisition.
Sure.
And at that time, I was asked to kind of stand up the integration process between the two different companies. So I was heavily engaged from a technical standpoint. It involved a couple of manufacturing plants as well. And it really gave me a good understanding of the whole process. So over the 20 years, I spent most of my time in a technical capacity. And then after that, shortly after that, there was an opportunity to become the vice president of the industrial business side of our business. So I moved over to that side. It gave me a lot of exposure to the commercial side of the business, integration with the different operations. And from there, as of June 1st, I was appointed to be the president of the company. So I have just about 1 year under my belt and continuing to learn and evolve and develop our business.
So this is your first job out of college?
It is the first job and only job out of college.
Yeah. So you've seen clearly the OE side.
Yes.
You've seen the industrial side.
Yes.
And now you're into the aftermarket.
Absolutely, absolutely. And each one is a little bit different. Some parts are easier, some parts are harder, but definitely they all kind of fit in together at the end.
And did you live in Detroit, or were you commuting from Greater Chicago?
I lived a little bit and commuted a little bit.
Okay.
So it was a little bit of a hybrid kind of environment. So most of that was in an apartment and then kind of back and forth.
Got it. So NTN operates more than 50 plants worldwide and is the third largest bearing manufacturer in the world. Discuss how you see the 108-year-old company, by the way, Babcock is 106 years old, the 108-year-old company continue to evolve to serve the automotive and heavy-duty aftermarket.
NTN grew up as an OEM company.
Yep.
And I think really over the last 10 years, there's been a real initiative to grow and evolve into the aftermarket. Matter of fact, by the year 2035, we have a global initiative to have 40% of our turnover that will be generated from the aftermarket. So there is a global initiative to really grow the aftermarket. Part of us, or our company, is we have a very strong pedigree on the OEM side, not just industrial and automotive, but within the different segments that operate from an OE standpoint. So for the automotive aftermarket, we really are working hard on our messaging and really taking that OEM in the box, the OEM pedigree, and bringing that out to the marketplace, in particular for the auto aftermarket. And as we do that, there's various initiatives. One that we just launched this past year is what we refer to as BCA in the Bay. And that essentially is allowing us to bring trainers out to the different technicians in the field and giving them a chance to learn about our product, how to install it, how to maintain it, and really bringing that OE message out there so that the market understands what NTN is kind of about.
So you guys are all about the pro.
Yes.
You want to reach the pro.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's our real targeted audience, I should say targeted customer. We think that that's really where we want to aim. And it really comes from the pedigree, right? We are the largest OE supplier for wheel bearings in the world.
So Tom, as you guys go to market, as we all know, there's lots of ways to sell your product. There's price, there's technologies, there's availability. What is your pitch to the aftermarket when you're selling your goods?
So I think our message is that we have the highest number of OE parts in the box. Our pedigree, our background is an OE supplier. Frankly speaking, we can't compete based on price, based on the direction that we intend or need to go. So most of the customers that are looking for a premium brand, an OE brand under the BCA moniker is really where we're focusing. We just aren't in the arena to really play on price alone, which really puts us in the position where we think we can differentiate ourselves in the marketplace.
In October, 6-ish months ago, you moved into new headquarters in Schaumburg. I've been to your old headquarters, haven't been to the new ones. Tell us what prompted the move. And I've been reading a lot, just as yesterday, about office space today and the differences of even just 5 years ago and pre-pandemic and pandemic. So talk about some of the things you're trying to achieve with that and what does it look and feel like?
Yeah, so we moved out of an older office building.
Yep.
That office building had 4 different floors, and each department operated on a different floor. We had in total about 200 associates in that building, and each floor was a different department. So as COVID evolved and came around, we, as many companies, moved into kind of a hybrid or a remote environment, and we've been working in that kind of remote fashion for quite some time. But as we started to look at the success of having remote employees, and then we started to look at the interaction or lack thereof, we decided it was time to move. And in August of last year, we moved to Schaumburg, Illinois, to kind of a multi-tenant, kind of state-of-the-art facility. And that really gives us the opportunity to collaborate in a much bigger fashion. If you look at the different arrangements that we have, from audio-visual conferencing to state-of-the-art office amenities, we have desks that were our stand-sit environments, which really is kind of that evolution of the office. We do have a hybrid schedule that we've continued to work within the company, where we have employees on different days coming in and out. So it's really been a nice opportunity for our employees to really collaborate and work much more effectively together. So we think that that has really helped us from that standpoint.
And what's the hybrid schedule you're in?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So as I mentioned, we're kind of a OEM and aftermarket company. So we have one team that comes in on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then the other team comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay. And typically Friday is a remote day for just about everybody.
Sure.
So it kind of allows us to kind of have those teams that operate in similar markets collaborate collectively.
I think, determining the long-range future is always tough, but I think we all got to think about at least 12 months and 24, right? Certainly 5 is too long, right? So as you look out just over the next 12 to 24 months, what key market trends, in your view, will really influence NTN strategy in North America?
As we look at the automotive industry in particular, if you go back 5 years, you saw the evolution or the investment that went into electric vehicles. Today, we're seeing a pullback from that. It's not quite as growth-oriented as they had originally thought, which prompts up kind of the ICE side of the business. But throughout all of that, there's absolutely no question that technology continues to grow, complexity continues to evolve, and what we see is If we look, for example, the right to repair initiative that's kind of in front of us here, we believe that the message that we need to get out there is we want to be kind of the gap filler of information and technology, especially as it looks at the pro, installers out there. So I think with that, we see a need, and partly using our trainers out in the field to kind of bring that technology out to the field so that the repairs are done properly, the information is disseminated within all of those different groups. I think if we look at a lot of our customers, we expect to see continued mergers and acquisitions throughout the next couple of years. We're already starting to see that trend. And for us as a company, we want to really partner with those companies that value the OE pedigree that we bring and really help us advance in that particular area.
So Tom, as you may know, something we do on AMN DriveTime is we do something called lightning round.
Okay.
And I'm just going to ask you some quick questions.
Okay.
And you're going to give me some quick answers. Well, I don't know how quick my question is, but you're going to give me a quick answer.
Good.
All right. Describe your leadership style.
Very inclusive. Always looking for feedback, and I'm not into hierarchy.
Favorite restaurant in Greater Chicago?
Oh, I would say
you can name more than one.
Perry's Steakhouse and Wildfire.
Okay. Where are they?
There are two located in Schaumburg, where our home office is, and there are two located up north where I live.
Which skill from your engineering background has proven to be most valuable in serving you in your role as president and CEO?
Yeah, great question. Knowledge is power. The more you can know, the better you can assess a situation, and the better you can, solve a problem.
Right. Spoken like a true engineer.
Probably.
Last question for you. Anything on your bucket list you're eager to check off?
Oh boy. So I have to get my wife over to Europe. So I'm looking forward to bringing her over to Paris. So hopefully within the next year.
Fantastic. It's great to have you on AMN DriveTime, sponsored by our great friends at Aishin.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.